Porsche was found in the Oregon woods after 27 years. This Porsche 924 was reported stolen in 1991. Has it been in this location all this time? Photo by Jackson County Sheriff's Office. A Porsche 924 reported stolen from an Oregon movie theater parking lot in 1991 has been found at the base of a cliff 27 years later, KOMO News reports. The 1979 coupe was located by a man who was following his dog in the woods southwest of Crater Lake, Oregon, the Jackson County Sheriff and No. 39's office told the news outlet. Following the man in No. 39's report of the car to authorities, the Jackson County Sheriff and No. 39's office examined the Porsche and found it was still wearing its registration tags, which expired in 1991. Heavy forest debris indicated the vehicle had been there for a significant period of time, the sheriff and No. 39's office stated in a report seen by KOMO News. The registration tags expired in 1991. Further investigation found the Porsche was reported stolen on January 20, 1991, from the parking lot of the Southside Cinema in Medford. Two detectives examined the abandoned Porsche the next day and found no human remains, only deer bones nearby. The sheriff and No. 39's office stated the Porsche was positioned at the base of a cliff in such a way that made it nearly impossible to see the car from the road above. The office also opined that the car and No. 39's location in forested, rocky terrain will make it difficult to remove the car, in addition to logistical and environmental concerns. At least one of the cars shows some mildew staining, but does this look like a car that has been in the Pacific Northwest woods for 27 years? We and No. 039 LL give it 5 years tops based on these photos, and that a No. 039's being generous. Photo by Jackson County Sheriff's Office. The Acura NSX, or Honda NSX as it was known outside of the U.S., was the first of its kind, a reliable, daily drivable supercar. Since it first rolled out of showrooms in 1990, the NSX has. There are a couple questions that immediately pop to mind. Was the car pushed off a cliff shortly after it was stolen in 1991, or did it happen years later? The photos that have been released certainly show some forest debris on the car, but as anyone who in No. 39's lived in the Pacific Northwest will note that car should be a lot greener from the mildew and moss. It and No. 39's difficult enough to keep a daily driver from turning green just about anywhere in western Washington and Oregon, but at least one side of the car does not look like it, and No. 39's been there for 27 months, to say nothing of 27 years. The other side of the car shows a little more moss and forest debris, but still, we and No. 39's seen more mildew staining and debris on cars parked in a Seattle suburb for 5 years. The second question, of course, is what happens to the car now? This is a little more complex, as it and No. 39's not just a matter of the car being returned to the owner. If the car was insured when it was reported stolen, and the owner was paid by the insurance company, they might not want the car back at all. At this point the insurance company will certainly be contacted, if the owner had one, and will then have to make provisions for it to be disposed of, even though we and No. 39'd love to see it on eBay as is. There are still plenty of good parts on it, and now this Porsche is internet famous. How cool would it be to source some parts from this car for a 924 project? The Lambert Chevrolet sale back in September of this year was billed as a once-in-a-lifetime event, with some 500 cars that Ray and Mildred Lambert accumulated in their dealership and on there. The third question we have is, was the car just stolen for a joyride, or was it stolen for another crime altogether, like a getaway vehicle that was later dumped? At the very least the police could look into bank robberies that occurred in this part of Oregon in 1991. We want to see a movie about this scenario, with an FBI agent played by Kyle MacLachlan investigating the case. The fourth question we have here is, where is the rest of D.B. Cooper and No. 39's cash? We know that he likely landed somewhere just north of the Columbia River, but what if he didn't and No. 39'd and had bailed out much later, landing somewhere in northern Oregon and stayed there, surviving in a cabin in the woods and stealing cars from time to time to make runs into town to buy food? Could he have been using this car in the early 1990s? Or, what if he didn't number 39, bail out at all and had instead deployed the rear stairs of the 727 and hid somewhere aboard and waited for the plane to land in Reno? Something about this just doesn't number 39, add up. In any eventuality, now that the X-Files is back in production, agents Mulder and Scully need to get on this case, stat. Back in 2008, I was part of a 24 Hours of Le Mans team that turned a 1985 Volvo 244 into a Ford V8-powered road racer. This led to all sorts of madness, one small part of which was the knowledge of Al J. Ramey. J. Ramey is an associate editor with Autoweek, and has been with the magazine since 2013. Jay also likes to kayak and bike. See more by this author. Classic Cars, Car Life, Car News, Authors, J. Ramey, Other News, Rumor Mill, Coupe, DIY, Porsche.